Now, we are going to do questions. Chad, what is the format? How do you want to?
Well, it's not getting up with the rest of the present before we go into that. I don't wish to ask any questions, I'm just making statements. That'd be right, James and Chad?
It's James Page from the 10th
But I must,
it's fine.
I'd like to know the
If you would like to speak, that's absolutely fine, I will allow you to. Just bear with me for 1 minute. This is James Page from the 10th Conservancy who represents the Anglers. And then
I'm not here to represent Anglers, actually, James.
Okay, well, he says he's not representing Anglers, but he is the chairman of the Anglican Conservancy Group, which represents all the Anglers here. So, but just for a moment.
The way that I envisaged it was that we would be taking questions. So, I mean, I'm quite happy to take questions, but I don't really think it's appropriate for anyone to stand up and start making statements.
I'll ask the question to begin with then.
Yeah,
we are obviously facing the Anglian issue in concern. It's very important.
You're not having issues. You're preempting my questions and why I'm here, James. I'm not here to ask any questions. I'm not here as chairman of the St. James Conservancy. Okay.
Very well then.
May I proceed? Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Right, folks, sorry for all that. My name's Mushroom. I've lived around here for the past. I've lived around here for the past 30 years, over 30 years. I walk my dog along the foreshore every morning. I'm an angler, have been, and I have a boat regimental attendant for the past 6 years. This group here, and thank you very much, James, and everyone who attended the presentation, state that they are a community interest company, a very local company with an ethical dimension, and it's noted that you're supporters of the Richmond Environmental Network and Richmond Borough Council, amongst others. Well, Richmond Environmental Network, in their own thing, state that 4,000 households spent £170 less on yearly household bills, use 20% less energy, and lower carbon emissions and cut waste by 20%. So perhaps one invest in that might be an alternative to hydropower.
Is that a question?
No. When you're standing on the weir, you propose, this is a question for you, you propose to put hydropower on. If you look to the left and shout, you'll be able to raise the 30 leaving more boaters that deposit their human waste in the river every day. Once that passes through your turbine, do you have any plans as a local community company to deal with that? No. If I turn around and face into the vehicle where you wish to put your turbine, do you have information regarding the creatures that inhabit that vehicle? Yeah. Have you done the environmental impact assessment?
Yeah.
No, you have not.
Okay, so you've made quite a lot of them. First of all, I'd like to point out to everybody that Thames Anglican Conservancy, which this man is the chairman, although
I haven't raised any issues though.
That might be true.
I think we need to do that, James.
Yeah, by the way, one second, the Thames Anglican Conservancy on its website states that it isn't simply there to raise Anglican issues. It raises all of these points that they talk about, which is why Ham Hydro, often at our expense, pays the Thames Anglican Conservancy to meet with our environmental consultants and raise all of these issues. Unfortunately, the Thames Anglican Conservancy, over a 3-month period of repeated requests, chose not to meet with that environmental consultant.
Can you answer his question, please? Can you just answer his question?
Can we just take the first question you said? Yeah. You mentioned energy efficiency, and you talked about Richmond Environment Network.
Yes, the savings that they had, that they quote for 20%.
So that's
it was £170 saved of each household on their household bills. They used 20% less, 21% less energy. They lowered their carbon emissions. They got that wage by 20%. It's quite substantial.
The idea that it might be coming from the low carbon figures that you might be taking that from. Obviously, here in Hammond Beach, there is a low carbon zone that's focusing on all of those issues.
That's Richmond Environment Network's figures.
And that's running with Richmond Environment Network, who are also involved in the low carbon zone. Yeah. So I mean, that's part of the...
I want to highlight your partner's success in saving carbon, reducing waste, and people's household bills, which seems quite considerable, £170 a year, plus the other reductions that I mentioned, for no investment of £2.5 million.
Well, I'm not sure if Richmond Environment Network could give us some more details on where that's coming from.
I'm not quite sure where it's coming from. Yeah, I'd like to know where it's coming from.
Well, it's been done before.
But the low carbon zone has actually had a good wedge of funding, a lot of funding from GLA and Richmond Council, so it's not nothing. But there is significant savings already being made on energy consumption in home. And that's great. We need those kind of initiatives as well as renewable energy, I believe. That's what I think.
The point I'm making is
sorry. Can I take another question? Can I take another question? So,
It's all very exciting to me. Just talk me through, why is it going to be there at the edge of that bit? Why did you not consider, I had this idea that the whole weir was going to be a hydroelectric, and actually some of the designs in this approach look like lots of things converged into hydroelectric power. So,
so what you're asking, why did we choose, why did we design for that?
Is it the beginning of something bigger, or why that location? Just talk me through about that.
We can only use a small section of the weir. You can't start sticking turbines over the whole weir. I mean, no one ever considered that.
The whole Environment Agency stipulates how much flow we're allowed to use. So we couldn't simply cover the whole weir. Also, the Environment Agency needs to obtain controllability by operating through states. So they need to retain a certain number of fluid states. So it's a fine balance on how much we are able to use, the size of the turbines we're allowed to use, etc. And we've undertaken a lot of negotiations back and forth with the Environment Agency. Right back from the very beginning when we made our proposal. Perhaps other people make proposals with different amounts of fluid or different locations. We chose our location for a number of factors. When you actually construct it, it's easy to go through from riverbanks. There is certain parts of the river that have higher flow or lower flow. It's also about the risk of boaters, river users. There's lots and lots of factors. If you want to know more, I mean, I can open this discuss this further, but we chose that area for a reason. The reason why we can't use a larger area is the lead is the balance of the Environment Agency to control the flood risk and the amount of flow.
We just go back to James here, in front of me, who had some sort of genuine concerns, and I'm Peter, I'm also part of the town manager. And I think, James, you have to correct me. James, you have to correct me, but it's about the welfare of fish. No, sorry.
You have your shot. Please.
It's my shot. It's my shot, and I'm asking James. I'm asking James because James is very passionate about this. He wants to have his say, and he's being kind of misunderstood. And I want to know what James' issues are, so that we address them at this meeting, which is really what this meeting is all about. It's people at home hydro who know us, know what the scheme's about, but a lot of people don't. They've just seen a little bit in the paper, in a few photos, and they have genuine concern. And yeah, and even I misunderstood you as well, even though I think you might make it behind you. So I apologise for you. That's all right.
Mind if I actually just, as we set out the signals, more actually think on behalf of the CAC.
Perhaps that would be good.
Can I just endorse that view? Rather naively, I came along this evening thinking that this was going to be a discussion on what I thought is a good idea. Clearly, there are others who feel that it is not necessarily a good idea, or maybe I'm anticipating what may be said. I've got no idea, but I would actually quite like to hear putting it in this way, the other side of the argument. It has obviously generated a lot of strong feeling, and as a local resident, I would like to know what the objections are.
I think that's absolutely fine, and there is no problem with people raising their hands and asking about anything in particular, and we're trying to deal with that. What was the point you going to make?
Yeah, I actually wanted James to elaborate on what he said, because I hadn't quite felt that he got to the end of what he was trying to say, and that we've given him a response. But I think maybe now... yeah, you can.
But look, one thing that it's a community-led interest company, yeah, and we're all for that. You know, I belong to Fishing Club, Kitchen Alone, but when you look upstream to their thing, there are 30 illegal boats, basically depositing their human waste and everything else in the river. If you turn around and look, we've got problems with people like Boston,
That's right.
I've actually spent 12 months on this study when I was outside of the main club. For most of my life.
Can you stand up? I can't hear you.
We'll move on to this part. Do you want to hold yourself? Yes, of course.
You're Richard from Thames Anglers Conservancy, currently treasurer. Really, I mean, look, I have some set questions to be perfectly honest. It's literally just an introductory question, which were we'd like to ask if you can, however, if they represent their services, that highest priority would be the proposed projects such as the Teddington Weir hydropower, preservation of the aquatic environment, which obviously everybody would agree with, because obviously there's one of that concerns was that on that basis, would you agree publicly that the environmental impact study should be part of the Environment Agency's considerations to help determine and therefore mitigate the potential consequences of the with or the surrounding environment, flow regimes, etc., just falling around?
And environmental impact study. There are lots of different types of environmental.
Sorry, could you say your question again? I didn't really catch the last part, the technical part. We're just talking to each other, but we're not getting it across.
What we're actually
No,
asking
we're here.
is that there are a lot of problems on the river.
Right.
For example, you've got pollution down in the lower Tyne. Obviously, within the river itself, you've got the cumulative effects of a number of hydropower projects that will be built. That cause obstruction, the fish migration. You've got a number of other issues with salt. I mean, I don't know what type of hydropower that Michael English crews are using, but basically what we want to know for sure is that the environmental assessment and impact assessment, a proper study of the Weirhalls and its biodiversity, what actually lives in there, what reason, what type of fish.
So in order to get a license, we have to undertake. Well, if you're successful in an application for a license, there's a lot of environmental requirements. It's like anything about fisheries and environment.
You speak up. We can't hear us.
My throat is getting a bit dry. Part of the
This is having a private conversation.
There we go. There we go. And then part of our license application, we are required to do arrange environmental studies, many of which we've already undertaken. Information about a lot of things you've asked for, we already have, we've already done. And we are in discussion with the Environment Agency about what is required. Now, what I would direct you is that if you have these concerns, and I believe you already are doing this, or at least certainly the Anglian Trust, which is the national body, and the Anglican Conservancy is a local body, although it is a very large body, I would say, is already talking to the Environment Agency about that. The only thing you can say though is, as you're all aware, we did offer the opportunity, which is unfortunate you didn't take it up, to communicate all of these things to our environmental consultants, so that they can incorporate your concerns into our environmental studies. And that was over a 3-month period, and we did say very clearly we would pay for the meetings with them to attend. What you didn't do that. Now,
so just go on to that one, sorry for the interject.
Now,
as far as that's quite far.
It's happening in every effort to undertake environmental studies to incorporate everything that we were aware of, the Environment Agency has made us aware of, and the Environment Consultant made us aware of. And we did ask for you to make us aware of any other things that you might want.
So are the results of that published somewhere then?
Some of the information has already been published via the Richmond Council website. The bulk of it has not yet, because we were in discussions with the Environment Agency, but all of it will be available in the future that you can see the extent of the environmental studies we have done. But like everything, in anything you do, we paid thousands and thousands of pounds for studies we have to take into discussion with the Environment Agency. But I can say we are undertaking this work.
Can we bring in anyone